welcome to another episode on the survival multiplayer series. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. It was a lot of fun to make, and I know it's been a while since I uploaded my last Minecraft video, but that was just because things got really busy in real life. I'm still in school, so I had a lot of exams, and now that's over, so I'm on break, so I'll have a lot more time to play Minecraft and get videos to everyone. So I wanted to start off this episode with a time lapse building this building, which you see right here, in the shopping district of our survival server. And the reason is because this video is going to have a lot of time lapses. I'm going to be building a lot of things. I'm going to be doing a lot of things on the island. Today's video is all about the shopping district. So, without further ado, enjoy the next time lapse in which I terraform this area. So I basically stopped halfway through terraforming because I was originally going to cover this whole area, and so that we could have a flat surface starting here. But I realized this is counterintuitive to my goals for this island, because what I originally wanted to do was to basically terraform and cover this island in grass in order to make it look as good as possible. Because on grass you can add more details like plants and bushes, and it'll just look better in general than this weird purple mycelium. But while I was building this, I was building with mycelium because I just didn't really think to build with grass. So I stopped, and I think I'm going to go through and do this entire terraforming thing again, but with grass. So if you look here, my sort of little base of operations, I have a box of grass, sand, smooth sandstone, and plants and other details, and we're just going to terraform this island to make it look as good as possible. I think only this side and maybe a bit over here for now. So enjoy the time lapse, the third of many probably. Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Here we are on the somewhat complete beach and, hill assorted. And I sort of jumped in here to describe my process on completing this build. Basically, I decided what I wanted the shape of this sort of terrain to be. And I built that using the blocks that I thought I should use, the grass and the sand. And then I added a few details such as these spruce slabs, these sandstone slabs, and other things like these half block patches right here. And this project is far from over. I just jumped in because I ran out of grass, so I can't really continue it this way. And also, I wanted to explain, how I'm going to go about detailing this area. I will be detailing the beach and the hills more, but this area I think I will leave for now because I don't know if I'm going to be building any more buildings over here. Like I had an idea about something to build in this area. I had an idea about something to build over here. So we'll leave that for now. But I also wanted to say this building is very nice in shaders. So I think I'm going to turn off the shaders for now as they're sort of causing my frame rates to dip for some reason right now. So I think I'm going to turn off the shaders and get working on detailing some of this area. Well, I did something. I have put some details along the coastline here. Stone buttons as little rocks, sugar cane, grass, and things like that, just to make it more atmospheric and improve quality. I will probably be adding larger details in the future, like trees and maybe some rocks and rock formations along the coast. But for now, I think this is the best thing I can do. Now, I want to direct your attention over here with my beautiful sidewalks made out of andesite. And I have sort of laid out roads that will go. So, this road will continue that way. This one will continue over here. This one will continue right here. This one will go off that way. And of course, this one will come along here and probably stop before it reaches the water. But I have sort of come up with a building design to go right here, and I think it's going to look fantastic. So I will get started on building that and gathering all the resources for that. So enjoy the time lapse. I think I like it. Yeah, I like it. Of course, we haven't done the interior at all. I've just sort of put in the staircases and sectioned it off into rooms. In case you didn't hear it earlier, this will be sort of like a hotel, motel sort of thing. So what I'm thinking is each floor has one, guest room. So this is a guest room. This could be sort of like a sitting area. And then this is another guest room. And this is sort of another sitting area. And I really wanted to give this sort of like the seaside feel. So, lots of balconies with overhangs and like a general sandy color. I even used sandstone for some of the blocks. And yeah, I think it turned out very nice. Since the time lapse, I added a roof actually, and just some more details everywhere, like lanterns and things that would just make it look a lot better, especially at night. Now I know I've been building a lot of things in this episode, and you're right, I have. We built this extremely nice looking building. We built this very nice looking building, and I started on the foundations of another building right here, but I'm not sure if we can get to that this episode. But it would not be a classic SMP episode without me building some sort of farm or contraption to help us get resources. So I think we're going to do that next, and I know just the farm for me to build. And I'm guessing many of you can guess what type of farm this is based on the biome we are in. Yeah, it is a flower farm or a dye farm, and I want to get every single type of flower. Now, flower generating mechanics are very interesting. The way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be putting bone meal and spawning flowers and then collecting them using water streams and other sort of mechanics. But in a world, or more specifically a flower forest biome, every block can only spawn one type of flower. So say this block can generate a, what's this called? Azure bluet flower. Or this block can generate an allium. Now, this block will only be able to generate an allium. So when we create a flower farm, you have to be extremely strategic about where we create our flower generating platforms, because I want to maximize the variety of flowers. I don't want to just have a bunch of platforms that can only spawn one type of flower. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to look at a flower gradient. A flower gradient is basically a pattern that shows which flowers will spawn where, because it's not random which flowers will spawn on certain blocks. It's actually determined by this flower gradient algorithm. So let's head into a creative testing world really quickly. Welcome to my creative world. In this super fat world, I have generated a flower forest and flower gradient. As you can see, this is a very interesting pattern which will show which flowers want to generate where in biome. Now, we are around the area where I want to build my flower forest farm, and since I want to maximize variation, I'm going to want to take platforms that combine flowers. So maybe I want to do one that has red tulips, orange tulips, and white tulips. So one right here, maybe one over here. The rarest flowers are these lily of the valley. They only spawn in these very small pockets in between the corn flowers, and they are also the only flowers that give white dye. So all the other flowers that look like they would, the oxeye daisy, the azure bluet, and the white tulip, they all make light gray dye. So lily of the valley is very important, gives white dye. So this is what a flower gradient looks like, but how do we use this in our survival world? Well, I generated this with a special mod I found and using the same seed, and it seems to be pretty accurate so far. So I've just gone over to the exact place where I want to build my farm, and I look for the flowers. So I'm like, oh, okay, I want to generate these flowers, so I take a platform and I build it there. And therefore, I can maximize the variation of flowers and get all the flowers in the fewest amount of spawning platforms. I think this tool is very useful, and I will link the mod in the description. Hopefully I remember to do that. And yeah, so all of you can use this as well. Okay, so I hope that demonstration was very helpful to you. It is helpful to me when I was trying to understand how I could make a flower farm. But I think I've chosen a few places, basically on the edge of this flower forest and this plains biome, that will help create a flower farm. And another interesting thing to note, which I forgot to say earlier, is that I've chosen this particular area for the farm, because if we go here, you have a flower forest biome, which spawns all types of flowers, except for blue orchids and dandelions. We have a plains biome, which spawns dandelions, and we have a swamp biome, which will spawn the blue orchids. So we have all of the flower spawning areas in proximity to each other. This will allow us to create just one farm, which will give us all the flower types. So I'm going to get started on building all the platforms, and I will get back to you. Well, as you can see, I built my platforms in the sky. These platforms should be able to give us all the different types of flowers. I haven't built the ones in the swamp yet, or the plains, but we'll do those later. And I just want to show you a quick thing, how each platform is going to look. I have this box of prismarine bricks, so I think I might use some of these for the building materials. I'm sure it'll look fine. This farm isn't meant to be pretty anyway. We're going to have water streams running down the middle here and on the other side as well. And these will end up in one water stream that'll take the flowers back to our main storage system. So we're going to have lines of blocks on the side here, like that. And then we're going to take our dispensers and line them up this way. And we're going to fill these with water buckets, and they're going to chop the flowers, and each platform has its own dispenser under here, which will be filled with bone meal, so it'll grow flowers. Water will wash them away. Grow flowers. Water will wash them away. And then that'll be it. And we're actually going to need to make these walls 2 blocks high, like this. And then we can run redstone dust on top of these blocks to power these droppers. So yeah, I'm going to get started on the redstone, and I will check in when I'm finished. This project took me a lot longer than I thought it would take me, because of course I built the whole thing in the sky, so I had to constantly be making scaffolding for myself and using blocks to stand on. But I have finished this part of the farm. So if we just fly up here, I can sort of show you how this redstone works. So what we have here is a clock. And when I unpower this lever, this clock will start repeating over and over again. And this observer every once in a while will send out 2 pulses. One pulse will cause these dispensers to wash water this way, and the other pulse will take the water away. while all of this is happening, if I can get down here, you can see I have other super fast redstone clocks, which will be powering the dispensers, which are sitting underneath like this, which will be growing our flowers. The flowers will then wash into these water streams, which will take them all the way down here into one central water stream, which will take them over to our soon-to-be centralized storage system. So let me show you it in action really quick. So as you can see, we got pretty much all the different types of flowers, and except for the blue orchids, of course, because it's actually funny. Funny story. This square right here is actually mostly plains biome instead of flower forest. You can see that if you look on the left side where it says biome. This block here is a flower forest. Then all the blocks here are plains. So I don't need to build one extra for the plains biome. However, I do need to build one for the swamp biome. So I think I'm going to get cracking on that, and then I'm going to build our central area where all these flowers will be collected and placed into chests. So I'll check back in when that's finished. Okay, so I may have overdone it a little bit with this storage system, but yeah, here it is. I decorated it kind of nice, and yeah, so we got all the flower types here, and you know, I haven't really run the farm that much. You also got bone meal here, and these levers will activate the farm. So this lever will activate this part of the farm, which is all the flowers except for a blue orchid, and then this lever will activate this small swamp farm, which will give us these blue orchids, which I've run for longer. And yeah. The really cool thing, what I wanted to show you, is that when the flowers go into the water streams, right, they will go along the water stream, and then they will enter this bubble elevator right here, and then they'll go all the way up along here, and then they'll just fall into this hole, which is, if you can see, goes directly into this tower here. Have a water stream right here that will go along here into this bubble column right there. The items will come out this water stream. Yeah, this system is complete. So let me show it to you in action. So I'm gonna put this lever, and yep, the system will turn on. And if we wait a few moments, it takes a little while for the items to get over here, but soon enough, yep, here they come. A lot of items. I couldn't just make a simple dropper elevator because it just simply would not be able to handle the amount of flowers and items. This farm requires so much bone meal, and we get a little bit back, not even enough by far. So I'm gonna need a slightly better bone farm than I already have, but as you can see, we're just getting flowers galore. Yep. Just getting every flower type. Now, these 4 flowers are the 2 high flowers that don't spawn with bone. So over here, I'm sort of constructing a little attempted farm for them. I haven't really finished. Essentially, what you do with the 2 tall flowers is you spam bone meal on them, like this, and then they'll grow more, which will fall. And I'm using farmland here so that I can put hoppers below it to pick it up. But that's not complete yet. Well, we have done quite a bit this episode. We built 2 buildings in the city, and we constructed this nice flower farm which will give us all the dyes that we need. So I think I'm going to end the episode for today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe, maybe put a like, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!